You've been jealous of my good looks since the 4th grade, pal.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 Disney movie mistakes you missed.
I can't feel my legs! I can't feel my legs!
So, this is why Prince Ahmed stormed out.
It's my duty. And it's a big duty.
For this list, we'll be looking at mistakes that can be found in various Disney movies. These mistakes can be anything including continuity errors, animation mistakes, or plot holes. We will be including Pixar movies on this list. What mistakes surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. Number 20. Magically appearing Magic 8 Ball. Toy Story. Looks like those Magic 8 Balls really are magic after all. Not only can they tell the future, but they can also appear at will whenever they're needed. When Andy's mom suggests Pizza Planet for dinner, Andy excitedly throws his toys onto the desk.
Pizza Planet? Oh, cool!
Notice how there's absolutely nothing near them, aside from the lamp and pens on the other side of the desk. However, right after Woody pushes Buzz off him, an 8-ball magically appears right beside his arm.
Will Andy pick me?
Yeah, there are no camera angle excuses or anything for this one. This was just a big fat mistake.
Nothing. I'm sure Andy was just a little excited. That's all. Too much cake and ice cream, I suppose. It's just a mistake.
Number 19. Why don't the Supers know the name Deavor? Incredibles 2. In the 15-year anticipated follow-up to The Incredibles, the issues between Supers and the rest of society are very much still real.
Oh, what did we do?
However, Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, and Frozone find allies in the Deavors. Well, one of them anyway.
Welcome back, Elastigirl! Come on up here. Don't be bashful. Come on, get up here.
Winston and Evelyn's father had been a big fan of superheroes back in the day, putting up a statue of Dynaguy, and even making friends with some of them. Given that several of their own superpowered pals took a liking to the senior Deavor, wouldn't our heroes have at least heard the name Deavor before though? Additionally, Elastigirl's look gets an upgrade. To Edna Mode's dismay,
Elastigirl's super suit is by Galbaki!
As well as a new electric bike. But when it meets an unfortunate end, it explodes in a ball of fire, which wouldn't happen to something, you know, electric. Number 18. Vanellope's tooth reappears. Wreck-It Ralph. This is another minor mistake, but like others of its kind, there's just no going back once you notice it. When she's practicing driving, Vanellope crashes and spits out a tooth. She then smiles at Ralph, making her missing front tooth very obvious and clear to the audience. However, her teeth are completely fine and intact for the rest of the movie. You could argue that it was a video game and her teeth were reprogrammed or something, but really, it was just a simple sight gag that the animators had no intention of continuing throughout the movie.
I've been thinking.
That's dangerous.
Number 17. Kristoff under fresh snow. Frozen. This mistake serves as another innocent sight gag, but it's a little less forgivable than the last. When Kristoff, Anna, and Olaf are escaping from Marshmallow, Olaf gets thrown off the cliff right before Kristoff and Anna fall to the snow below. At the bottom, Kristoff emerges under a completely fresh and undisturbed mound of snow.
I can't feel my legs! I can't feel my legs!
Not only did Kristoff somehow end up underneath Olaf, who fell off the cliff first, but he also didn't make any impact or scuff marks upon hitting the snow. Mistake made by the animators? Sight gag we weren't supposed to take seriously? Or is Kristoff a ghost? Make your decision.
He's crazy.
Number 16. Jasmine's golden armband changes arms. Aladdin.
Jafar. I never realized how incredibly handsome you are.
In the scene where Jasmine is chained up by Jafar, she is wearing a golden snake bracelet on her right arm. This can clearly be seen when she kisses Jafar, and right before she tries to wrestle the staff away from him. However, once she's knocked to the ground, the bracelet is on her left arm. In the next shot, when she stands to get the lamp, it's on her right arm again.
Get the lamp!
It's a simple continuity error, and it's a real blink and you'll miss it mistake, especially considering the hectic nature of the scene. But hey, it's a mistake nonetheless.
Princess, your time is up!
Number 15. The Sword from Nowhere. Frozen.
Elsa! You can't run from this!
Just take care of my sister.
Frozen has a spectacular climactic finish that leaves audience members at the edge of their seats. But that doesn't mean it all makes sense. For example, we clearly see the villainous Hans approaching Elsa totally unarmed, not even a sheath to contain a sword. Yet we then hear a sword being unsheathed and then suddenly see a sword magically appear in Hans's hands.
Elsa?
And no, it's not a really sharp icicle, it's a legitimate sword. Kind of a big one, which makes you think Hans may be compensating for something. But that's another story.
The only frozen heart around here is yours.
Number 14. Nothing happens to the lights. Monsters, Inc. In Monsters, Inc., it's made very clear that Boo's screams and laughs produce massive power spikes. Because, you know, the entire concept of the movie is that children's screams, and later laughter, power the monster city. However, there are numerous times throughout the movie when Boo's vocalizations do absolutely nothing to the power. Examples include the scene when she's screaming in Randall's scream extractor, or when she's giggling in the bathroom while playing hide-and-seek with Sully.
No.
Hey, you're good.
On both occasions, the lights should be going haywire, yet nothing happens. Geez, get your lore straight, Disney. Number 13. Why does Buzz freeze? Toy Story. This has been a question on everyone's mind since 1995. Why does Buzz freeze when Andy enters the room? It's established early on that the toys freeze around Andy, because, you know, they're not supposed to be alive.
Andy's coming, everybody! Back to your places, hurry!
But it's also established that Buzz doesn't believe himself to be a toy. If that's the case, then why does he freeze like the rest of them? It could be that a toy's involuntary response is to freeze around humans.
You are a toy!
It could also be a defense mechanism. Or maybe he wanted to wait and study the hostile species. While this plot hole doesn't ruin the movie, it certainly brings up some questions. Number 12. The Slashes change direction. Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is undoubtedly one of Disney's all-time classics, but that doesn't mean it's without its goofs. In the prologue, the Beast dramatically tears at his human portrait, and the scratches go in a downwards left to right direction. One scratch even begins at his right eye and goes across his nose and off his cheek. However, when Belle later discovers the same portrait, the scratches travel in an upwards direction, and the scratch beginning on his right eye is completely gone. For such a serious and important scene, you'd think they'd have reviewed the earlier scene. Number 11. Tiger takes a bite of something. Aladdin.
So, this is why Prince Ahmed stormed out.
Oh, Father. Raja was just playing with him, weren't you, Raja?
In this Disney classic, strong-willed Princess Jasmine knows what she wants, and what she wants is not the obnoxious Prince Ahmed. Jasmine's tiger Raja is on the same page, and he dispenses with this unwanted suitor by taking a bite out of his purple pants. Insulted, the prince flees, his heart pattern underwear clearly showing through a hole in his pants.
I've never been so insulted.
Prince Ahmed, you're not leaving so soon, are you?
Good luck marrying her off.
Yet when we get a close-up of Raja, the fabric in his mouth clearly matches Ahmed's underwear.
Jasmine! Oh, confound it, Raja!
Guess we're all just thankful he wasn't going commando that day.
Look at that, Abu! It's not every day you see a horse with two rear ends.
Number 10. King Candy just doesn't want to go away. Wreck-It Ralph.
Is that a threat I smell? Beyond the halitosis you so obviously suffer from.
Poor Vanellope von Schweetz was dealt a crappy hand in Wreck-It Ralph, what with her video game-based kingdom having been taken away from her by the evil King Candy and all.
There's no way that I am racing with a glitch. Francis, Candlehead, come on.
Sourville, that glitch cannot be allowed to race.
All traces of Vanellope's rightful place as princess have been wiped away. King Candy has plastered his name and logo all over everything like a pixelated Donald Trump.
So you're a fan of pink?
Salmon. Sam, and that's obviously Sam. What are you doing here?
So when Vanellope and Ralph win and everything is reset the way it's supposed to be, why can we still see King Candy's name and logo on one of the buildings?
So this is the real you.
Guess Ralph was too busy celebrating to wreck it to pieces.
And besides, I've got a job to do too. It may not be as fancy as being president, but it's my duty. And it's a big duty.
Number 9. Mr. Potato Head's Magic Eye, Toy Story 3.
You got a date with Justice, One-Eyed Bart.
Part of the appeal of Mr. Potato Head is how easy it is to change his appearance, and even his personality with a little accessorizing. But can we have a little consistency, please? In this scene, Andy is pretending Mr. Potato Head is the evil one-eyed Bart. And yes, he has one eye. But when Andy's mom comes into the room with a video camera, and Andy gives her a close-up look at his toys, the Potato Fiend suddenly has 2 eyes.
Hey, 50-foot baby from outer space, and she's on a rampage! Run for your lives!
Either that's a mistake, or that video camera comes with some serious CGI capability.
I always wanted to go out with a bang!
Number 8. Easy to escape Shackles, Tangled.
In case you get any ideas about following us.
Sure, we know Rapunzel and Flynn Rider are just cartoon characters, but their relationship is so beautifully realized that it's sometimes easy to forget this fact.
And at last I see the light.
Maybe that's why when a little bit of unreality interrupts Flynn's big death scene, it's so jarring. Our hero is dying, and clearly shackled so no escape is possible.
Everything is gonna be okay, though.
No, Rapunzel.
I promise you have to trust me.
No.
Come on, just breathe.
I can't let you do this.
And I can't let you die.
Rapunzel has just agreed to sacrifice her freedom and happiness so he can live, and Flynn raises his shackled hand to stroke her face. Only that shackle has somehow disappeared. And it's somehow back moments later when he cuts off her hair, dooming himself but ensuring Rapunzel will be free.
Wait.
Spoiler, it all ends happily though.
Eugene.
Number 7. Who needs glasses anyway? Inside Out.
And there she was.
Eyes and shackles aren't the only things that can appear and disappear at random in a Disney film. We won't blame you if you didn't notice this scene in Inside Out though. After all, heroine Riley is a distractingly cute little baby. At first, the audience is looking at the baby over the shoulders of her mother and father, and her mom is clearly wearing glasses. But in the next cut, the audience is looking up at the parents from baby Riley's point of view. Guess what? No glasses.
Hello. Riley.
Oh, look at you. Aren't you a little bundle of joy?
Yes, maybe she decided contacts were a better choice, but when did she have time to put them in?
Aren't you a little bundle of joy?
Whoa. Number 6. The Beat of a Different Drum, Lilo and Stitch. The incredibly adorable Lilo very definitely marches to the beat of a different drum, but this is taking that saying a little too literally. When we're first introduced to the adorable leading lady, Lilo has her mind on pretty much anything else than being on time for her hula class. At the class, 2 men are providing musical accompaniment for the dancers, each playing a drum that is kind of gourd-shaped.
Stop.
Yet when we see these men after Lilo's comment about Pudge the fish, one of those drums is now a more traditional drum shape.
Pudge controls the weather.
Maybe Pudge also has power over musical instruments?
Pudge is a fish.
Number 5. Shy Shadows, Pocahontas.
And now I'll never see John Smith again. Come with me.
The love story of Pocahontas and John Smith creates a kind of magic on screen, but that doesn't give the filmmakers an excuse to bend the laws of nature.
Until you can paint with all the colors.
In the scene where Nakoma comes to fetch Pocahontas and take her to see the captured John Smith, the 2 women walk back to the camp holding hands. Yet, as they approach the camp, their shadows clearly are not holding hands.
Pocahontas wants to look into the eyes of the man who killed Kocoum.
That's just not possible, unless the shadows have a mind of their own like in Peter Pan. Maybe those shadows are a little shy about expressing affection. But come on, we're all friends here.
Don't you think we're getting a little old for these games?
Number 4. Toys don't have a reflection. Toy Story 2.
Rex, turn it off! Someone's gonna hear! Which one is off?
Vampires are well known for not casting a reflection, but as far as we know, the characters in Toy Story 2 are not bloodsuckers. Unless there's something Ham and Rex are not telling us.
Great, now I have guilt!
Why do we wonder? Because when Ham turns off the TV, the screen goes black and we can see the room reflected in the blank screen. But we can't see either Ham or Rex, who are standing right in front of it.
Right out loud, it's this one! I despise that chicken.
Maybe their shy reflections should go on a date with Pocahontas and Nakoma's shadows. Number 3. Mike and Sully did not meet in university. Monsters University. Apparently Monsters Inc. has an issue with quality control.
2319! We have a 2319!
The entire concept of Monsters University is that Mike and Sully meet and befriend each other while studying at the titular school.
What am I doing? James B. Sullivan.
Mike Wazowski. Listen, it was quite delightful meeting you and whatever that is, but if you don't mind, I have to study my scaring.
However, it was established in the first movie that Mike and Sully have been friends for much longer than that. As Mike says to Sully,
"You've been jealous of my good looks since the 4th grade, pal."
However, the director has acknowledged this error. According to him, the team decided to forego the established character backgrounds for story and thematic purposes. We can respect that, but we're still going to point it out. Number 2. Elsa's hair goes through her shoulder. Frozen. This goof was quite popular on the internet in the mid-2010s thanks to a particularly eagle-eyed viewer. Sadly, the person who discovered it was probably some kid's poor parent who had to watch the movie for the 1000th time that month.
Oh, look at that. I've been impaled.
During Let It Go, Elsa's hair fuses through her left shoulder once she lets it down. While this is hardly noticeable at normal speed, it's quite clear upon viewing the scene in slow motion, or when scrutinizing it frame by frame. Then again, maybe we should just let it go, because apart from that, the scene is amazing.
Let the storm rage on.
Before we get to our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. The Alligator Poster, Finding Nemo.
Nemo!
Daddy?
Judy is wearing the wrong shirt, Zootopia.
I'm a loser!
Mr. Litwak's name changes. Wreck-It Ralph and Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Mr. Litwak!
What's the trouble, sweetheart?
The game's busted.
Litwak will fix it. All right. Oh.
Kristoff's instrument is missing a peg. Frozen.
You got me. Let's call it a night. Good night.
Newspaper headline is from 40 years in the future. The Incredibles. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Cinderella's Disappearing Sleeves. Cinderella. On one level, Cinderella is all about the wardrobe, right? After all, her animal friends help her make a gorgeous gown that her jealous stepsisters rip to shreds.
Oh, and look, that's my sash wearing my sash. She can't. Oh, please stop.
Then that handy fairy godmother gives her the ball gown to end all ball gowns and iconic glass slippers to match.
And look, glass slippers.
Everything ends happily ever after, with Cinderella marrying her prince in yet another stunning outfit. One with very long sleeves. Except, when she's riding away in her carriage, we see her again through the rear window. And girl, what happened to those sleeves? Maybe her fairy godmother wasn't feeling her first look.
Good night.
agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.